How y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, we got an announcement today. 3,000 subscribers has finally arrived. It was a long journey for 6 months, but we're finally here. 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers. Tomorrow, June 7th. June 7th, Saturday, June 7th at high noon. That's how we do it out here in the Wild Wild West. High noon. High noon will be the drawing. And you'll find out who will be winning the custom polished 8010 Lite. 8010 Lite is going to be given away tomorrow. We will find out who the winner is tomorrow. The drawing will be tomorrow. High noon, people, high noon. Meanwhile, let's do an unboxing. This is coming from Flytanium. Doing the unboxing today is the one I carried to work today. Oh, yeah. There it is there, people. There it is there. That's right. That's my other beautiful polished knife. That's my other beautiful polished knife. Oh, yeah. I forgot I did this one. That's right. What is it? Espada Large. Cold steel Espada Large. Triad lock, 5.5-inch blade, saber hollow grind. It's a Navaja style folder. It's meant to look like the Spanish Navajas from yesteryear, days from the past. It doesn't have the clicking, the ratcheting, the lock, but it does have a better lock. It has a triad lock. Absolutely love these, people. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. There it is there. G10 scales, 6061 aluminum backspacer. This one's been all polished. This one's all custom polished. They don't already look like this. All right, let's get down to the unboxing now. Flytanium. All right. Let's see what we got. Ooh, some goodies. Some goodies. Some modification goodies. What's this? Purple. Oh, okay. Is that it for that one? Okay. Let's see what's in this one. What are the modification parts for? All right. Ooh, I see some arcades. Arcades, people. Oh, purple arcades. This box is slightly open, huh? Okay. Let you guys get a look at the box. Coming from Flytanium. They have these on sale for 79 bucks. Flytanium. These are the arcade lights. I've been wanting to get an arcade, but I didn't want to spend the $200 that they've been asking for the other ones. And so, when they saw these, I jumped on them. I've been actually wanting one for a while. As y'all know, I'm a big time... Ooh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. These got purple polycarbonate scales. Got a little Flytanium sticker in them. All right, arcades. Ooh, let's see. We got some projects coming up here. Let's see what we got in this package. Oh, I hear metal clanging. Ooh, titanium scales for the arcade. Yes, one of them's going to be a titanium knife. Titanium scales for the arcade. Oh, that's going to be fun turning that one. I don't know if I'm going to polish them. I might just leave them sort of like this color. I'm thinking I'm not going to polish these. I like the stonewash finish. And what we got in here? Looks like a backspacer. Ooh, a black backspacer. I think that's going to be for this one. The black backspacer. Titanium, a black titanium backspacer. And put that one with the black knife. The titanium scale is going to go with this one. But I thought about making the black one the titanium too. I don't know. I'm sort of undecided on that, people. Which would you guys rather see? See if I get this one open. Oh, another backspacer. This one's purple. A purple backspacer. All right. A purple backspacer. And what's this? Thumb studs, purple thumb studs. Purple backspacer, purple thumb studs. We got one more item over here. What's this one? Titanium, titanium, people. Oh, and a titanium pocket clip. Look at the colors on that. That's beautiful. Titanium pocket clip. So this is going to have the backspacer, the pocket clip, and the thumb studs. And the titanium scales. So it's going to be a titanium. Now I started to get the titanium hardware, but in the past I've had problems with titanium screws, especially the small ones, because they snap. They you know, they're not as strong as like a steel screw, and so you got to be real careful with them. And I decided not to go that route, even though I know that, you know, titanium and titanium works better together than, like, let's say titanium and other steels. But these are coated though, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. All right, but this goes with this one. That's going to be all the parts that are going to go on this knife. And this one, ooh, these are nice. No side to side, no up and down. The lockup is solid, people. This weighs hardly anything too. The handle is super comfortable. Very comfortable handle. I love the shape of these arcade blades. That's one thing, you know, y'all know I like drop points. And that's one of the reasons why I want to get this one, because I like the blade. And I like how there's no cutouts. Y'all know I'd rather just have thumb studs than have a hole in my blade. This is nice, people. And these are made in Taiwan at the Cold Steel Factory, where the Andrew Demko 80-20.5s are made. The Shark Cub and the Nano Shark, I think they're all made at the same factory. This is nice. It's got bearings in it. They're not skiffs though. They're like cage bearings and like the brass and the ceramic ball bearings and the brass cages that are like sort of hollowed out. So I would be swapping these bearings out with some skiffs. We'll do all that when we take it apart. So I think we're going to do that probably maybe on Sunday, not tomorrow. Put all these parts back in here so they stay nice and beautiful. Arcades are beautiful, people. The first company that's got permission to use the Demko Shark-Lock, Flytanium. And these are polycarbonate scales. They're not Ultem. As you all know, I don't really care for Ultem. I had bad experiences with it, you know, cracking up on me and stuff like that over just regular usage. You know, as you all know, I don't abuse my things. So If something cracks up on me, you know it's not a good product. Because I don't do anything to tear up stuff. These are beautiful, people. Both of them are nice and solid. And these don't really feel like plastic. They feel more like, I mean, they have a nicer feel to them. These are actually some really nice scales. Me, myself, I'm not a big fan. Nice, perfectly centered. I'm not a big fan of the, what do you call it, the add-on pieces that you can put back here. You know, so you can mod them, the little modification pieces that they have on the standard arcade. That sort of turned me off. I'd rather just have a solid handle without inserts that you can take in and take out just for, you know, fashion reasons. These are beautiful, people. All right, let's go and check them out. Let's see what the specs are on them. All right, let's see what the weight is first. 3.0 ounces, people. That's super light. 3.0. That's actually lighter than is that lighter than the 80-20.5? I think the 80-20.5 is like 3.6 ounces. Here's my other knife I carry all the time. This is my utility knife. What is it? It's a shark cup. That weighs 3.7. But it does have the aluminum kit from Original Goat. And it's a smaller knife. So these weigh less than the bigger knife. I mean the smaller knife. Absolutely loving them, people. This has like a 2.75 inch blade, and I think these are a little bit over 3 inches. Three and a quarter inches. 3.25 inches long. If you go all the way down the handle. 3.25 inches long. 2.75 inches long. So it's a half an inch longer than this one. These are nice, people. I recommend the arcades. And go check out the Lites. These have Japanese AUS 10A blades. With the polycarbonate handle scales instead of having aluminum handle scales with inserts. And a S35VM blade, CPM S35VM blade. With Japanese Oz 8, Oz 8, did I say Oz 8? I meant to say Oz 10. Japanese Oz 10A annealed stainless steel holds a great edge. I think it's a great pocket knife steel. It's a great steel for this. You know, and I think for, you know, $80, and if you use they have 10% discount coupons, so you get the price actually lower below that. I think these are a bargain. I think these are the most least expensive way to get a Shark-Lock folder, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the most least expensive Shark-Lock folder, and it's a really nice folder too. Really nice. You know what, people? I'm gonna pause it. All right, people. I had to go get a 80-20.5 just for a comparison. These are the ones that are in my rotation drawer. So it's about the same. It looks like it's maybe a little bit longer than 80-20. I don't know. Let's measure it. 3.25. This one's about 3 1/8. So it's the blade's a little bit longer than this one. Yep, it is about 1/8 longer. Wow, this is a nice blade. That's really nice, people. This to me is like a really good size for a work knife. A knife that you carry to work all the time. It's super lightweight. It's got a deep carry pocket clip. It's very nice. Total length is about 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. 7 and 5/8. And this one's 7.5. And this one's a little bit under 7. Oh yeah, and we gotta do the 8020S, huh? You gotta bring out the big boy. So this one's a little bit bigger than this. This one's a little bit bigger than this one. And this one's a little bit bigger than this one. And this one's a little bit bigger than this one. And then they got the Nano Shark. I'm not going to get the Nano Shark. That one's too small for me, people. I love it. And it comes with a nice deep carry pocket clip already. It's very similar to the Lynch Northwest style pocket clip. I like it. I think it's awesome, people. I think it's an awesome blade. Let's see how thick it is. You got 0 first. .16 millimeters thick. 3.16. Out here, 3.21. It's a little bit thicker right there. 3.21. Tip. 0.94. 0.94 for the tip. Just out of comparison, 3.16, same thickness. Up here, 3.16, same thickness, tip. .84. This one has a thinner tip. This one, 2.35 millimeters thick, 2.35. Out here, 2.36 tip. 0.83, about the same as a slicer. The 8020S, 3.22 millimeters thick. Out here, 3.26. Blade tip, 1 millimeter thick. Weights. .4 ounces with the G10 scales. 5.4 ounces with the G10 scales. This got original goat kit, so it's not like a stock knife. 4.5 ounces. These stock are like 3.7, I think like 3.6 or 3.7 ounces in weight. Absolutely love them. 3.7. And this is the lightest. 3.0. Heaviest, second heaviest, third heaviest, fourth heaviest, and these are the lightest. Now, after I put titanium scales on one of these, it's gonna raise the weight up. One of them I'm gonna leave with the polycarbonate scales because I like these scales. I like these scales. If I would have known how nice these scales are, I might not have bought the titanium ones. These scales are actually really nice. And they don't have too much flex in them either. Got a little bit of flex, but not too much. I think it's really nice for a, EDC knife, for an everyday carry knife. I would say this one would be a good competition for the bug out, those kind of knives. because I'd much rather have a Shark-Lock folder than a crossbar lock folder. I'm keeping it real, people. I have lots of crossbars, lots of axis locks, I got all the kind of locks. And my favorite 2 locks of all time are the Shark-Lock and the Triad lock. Those are my 2 favorite locks. Those are my top 2. All the rest come behind them. Shark-Lock and a Triad lock. I like the Triad lock because I think it's the strongest lock. The Shark-Lock is a super strong lock too. Perhaps, maybe as strong as a Triad lock. I don't know. I haven't seen it tested like that. But I do think this is a very strong lock. I think it's stronger than any other lock that uses a single spring for the lock bar, for a sliding lock bar like this, that slides on top of the blade tank. I think this is the strongest lock type for that kind of lock type. Second strongest would probably be an Atlas lock. I think the Demko lock is probably better than the Atlas lock. And the reason why I say that is because these knives are solid. They don't have any blade play. The only one that I have any blade play in is this one. And it's got a tiny tick up and down, and it gets loose side to side, and then I always have to push this in like this. And then I just take my thumb and I tighten it up, and that takes out all the blade play. And then if you don't want that slight tick up and down, you just push on the shark fin, and it goes away. So what that tells me is that this knife is carried every day, people. Every day I carry this knife. Every day. It's getting little nicks in the handle and everything else like that. But I carry this knife every day. This is my utility knife. Now I'll carry a bigger knife as my self-defense folder in my right pocket. This is a left pocket knife. My left pocket knives are always my utility knives. And this is the one that actually does all the cutting chores. My right pocket knife, my self-defense knife, I don't really use them for cutting chores, people. This is the one that rode in my self-defense pocket today. And that's one reason why I like to make these pretty, because this is a fighter. Fighting knives, to me, in my mind, are supposed to be pretty. I don't know, if you look back in history, all the cultures that were knife cultures that were known for knife fighting, like the vaqueros, the Spanish American culture that came over here, and they were the cattle herders and the horsemen and all that. They're the ones they're like the original ranchers, the Spaniards when they came over. Those cultures, the vaqueros, they were known for knife fighting, and they'd always carry real fancy, big Bowie knives and I don't know. That's probably where the Bowie knife style came from, is from the Spanish culture, people. It's not really a European style knife. It's more Spanish. This type of blade, period, is more like a Spanish style blade, the Navaja. They were making them long before people in the United States were, making Bowie knives and stuff like that, long before Jim Bowie. So, our cowboys and our people in our country, the cattle herders and things like that, they learned a lot about being cowboys and herding cattle and doing all that kind of stuff, and how to handle cattle from the Spaniards. And so they adopted a lot of things, like the knife culture and stuff like that. But anyway, the knife culture in the Mediterranean and everywhere else, your self-defense knife was always real fancy. It was supposed to be like a status symbol, and you carry it openly on your person. And you would have real fancy handles, gold inlays and silver and exotic stones and stuff like that, emeralds and rubies and things like that. And, fancy blades and stuff like that. Because they didn't have cars. They didn't have a Mercedes or Cadillacs or Corvettes or Lamborghinis or whatever, but they had knives. And their knives would be like their way of showing their status. So it was more than just a self-defense item. It was like a status symbol too. It said whether you were rich or you were poor. If you had a beautiful, beautiful, fancy knife, that meant that, you were a person of wealth. Or trying to look like a person of wealth anyway. And if you didn't, that meant that you were a working class person or a peasant. But I've always loved the fancy knives from the old days. I don't know. I like to look at old things that I know I can't find and collect or whatever. But I like to look at the original stuff. And you know, the new knives are way better than the old knives were, but I still like to see the style of the old knives. I love seeing knives where you take an old style knife and you make it with modern materials. That's what really gets me going. And maybe improve on it a little bit, because a lot of the old knives, especially like the fixed blades, they weren't full exposed tang blades. They were like rat tails. And so, you know, I can see how you can make that, you know, improve on that by making it an exposed handle or having a real thick tang going through it before you cover the handle, instead of just having a little skinny rat tail. But anyway, people, absolutely love it. Absolutely love the Arcade. I would highly recommend this knife. I can tell right now I'm going to put bearings in it, because you can see the action. Action's not like what I'm used to. Y'all always wonder why I put bearings, you know, skiffs in things. It's because I want it to work like this. This is a skiff knife. This is a skiff knife. This is a skiff knife. This is a stock bearing knife. That one's not too bad, but it still doesn't work like a skiff knife. This one's really stiff. There we go. But that's why I like skiff bearings, people, because I like things that, I'm a person that likes my knives to operate super smooth, super fast. I don't like anything that, you know, keeps them from operating like that. And so I always try to work out the bugs. I know a lot of people always say, well, you know, you just make knives pretty and stuff like that. Well, actually what I'm doing is making a knife more functional. You know, making a knife, you know, operate easier. I always hear people say that I'm really good at operating my knives or opening and closing them and stuff like that. I make it look so easy and stuff like that. It is easy if you lube and tune your knives to the way that you want them, or you know, if you take them to the next level. Like one of these, you know, and you polish it. And you polish it all out. When you polish the insides, like this one has polished G10 handle scales also. It makes everything super smooth, people. I mean, it's more than just looks. The polishing also saves your knife from corrosion. I mean, it doesn't make it corrosion proof, but it closes the pores of the steel so moisture and stuff can't get, moisture and dirt and stuff that causes corrosion and rust can't get into your blade. It makes it harder to get into your blade. Back in the day, all blades were always polished. All blades, you know, that you get, any knife that you buy in a store or whatever, unless it was like a cheap knife, would always be mirror polished. Hunting knives and all that kind of stuff. Just the way that they did stuff, especially with the carbon steel, because that's one way you keep carbon steel from rusting so quick, is if you polish it. The other way to do it, you know, you got to coat it. But if you didn't want the coating, you should polish it. Anyway, that's it for today. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow is gonna be draw day for the 8010 Lite. Original goat, customized, polished handled 8010 Lite. Stay tuned, people. Peace out. Stiletto. Have a great day.